I'm surprised that the Celtics keep making the same mistake. Wildes, listen, Brad Stevens or whomever is talking, here's the rule. Either you hold a press conference and you say, as we've seen GMs say, listen, my job is at every point to evaluate every single opportunity to make our team better, and that's that. Yes. Or you say everyone is off limits. What you can't do is continuing siphoning your team amongst untouchables and touchables. Because now, there's Jason Tatum. He's like, hey, Robert Williams, you're the other guy on the team they really like. And Marcus Smart's like, oh, hi, Jalen. You and me over here in the touchable category. What are you doing? Like, why? If you're telling the world you won't include Robert Williams, you know what you're also telling the world? Marcus Smart can be had, though. I'm sure this makes Robert Williams feel great. Probably makes Marcus Smart not feel so great. I don't know why they keep stepping on this same rate, as opposed to, like, they've got to tighten up the leak shop over on Causeway Street, or whatever they call it, in the North End. I don't know anything about Boston. Sure. I've never been there.
It's okay. So I get it. Robert Williams, 10-10 guy, okay? High PER. You look, I pulled up all the PERs. So let's see. According to this, and PER fluctuates on what you're qualified for, but right here, PER 22, he's 9th. Here's who is ahead of him. Giannis, Embiid, Durant, Trae Young, Jimmy Butler, Montrez, DeMar DeRozan, Jared Allen, and then Robert Williams. One of those names is Kevin Durant, though. So I know it's super high PER, but Kevin Durant is number 3, Robert Williams is number 9. So guys, if you want Durant, you're going to have to give Brooklyn some quality players. Durant's not just going to wander over. Although, he's talking about good strategies if you want to go somewhere. You could pull the old Donovan Mitchell, just start going to a bunch of Red Sox games, maybe go to a few Bruins games, move right outside of Boston, and just patiently wait for the move. It's on the board, Durant.
Willie your
just
way
saying
in.
It's an idea.
Listen,
it's working for Donovan Mitchell.
Now that Jenna's no longer a Celtics fan because Danny Ainge runs the Jazz, there's only 2 Celtics fans in my life. My son and you, Kevin Wildes. My son is of the belief that if it's Jaylen Brown plus one of the 2 guys, Robert Williams or Marcus Smart, he would rather trade Marcus Smart. I'm just asking you quickly.
No.
If you've got to trade one of the 2, Marcus Smart or Robert Williams, who are you trading?
I would trade Robert Williams because Marcus Smart gives the identity to that team. Kevin Durant, while I love him, I think he's a phenomenal player. I don't think he necessarily brings a toughness with him, and I think it's hard to just show up and all of a sudden, hey, this team is my identity. Keep Marcus.
Got it.
And his beautiful robes.
This is, you know what this has? This has real, you know that terrible Twitter account, Wildes, Ball Don't Stop? This has real Hooper versus basketball player energy. Like, you know if you know. Let me explain to you. Guys, listen, Carmelo Anthony won the only national championship in the history of my alma mater. Carmelo Anthony is one of my favorite players of all time. Carmelo Anthony is not a better scorer than Kevin Durant. Now, to be fair to Draymond, maybe Melo this year in his 16 minutes a game for the Lakers, it changed his opinion on it. Or maybe Wildes, new media is falling into so many of the pitfalls old media deals with, which is I have all these take plates up in the air that I can't juggle them all, and now they're crashing down around me. I'm not here to say Draymond Green, the face of new media, can't keep his takes together because he doesn't actually necessarily believe what he's saying. He's just trying to create content. What I am saying is, actually, that's exactly what I'm saying. What I'm saying is Draymond has become what he most despises. The inauthentic, inconsistent taker. Just giving takes for the sake of takes. Because I heard him call Kevin Durant the greatest scorer ever. And now he says he's not as good as Carmelo. And I love Melo, but give me a break. It's just a bad take that Draymond doesn't even believe in, Wildes.
Just to Draymond's defense, there is
Why?
a qualifier, pure scorer. Now, I don't really even know what pure scorer means, but if I was Draymond, I would have another exclusive podcast directed at you saying, no, I meant pure scorer. I'm not quite sure what pure scorer is, difference between pure scorer and just scorer. Pure scorer, Carmelo. Best scorer of all time, KD. Boom, podcast. Right there. Countdown, 5 best pure scores.
I was probably
scores.
A little harsh there, Wildes, on my fellow clutch client Draymond, so let me give him credit. Also on this podcast, he did release his all-time starting 5, which had the incredibly unique construction of 4 guys he's played against plus Michael Jordan. So that was good, too. I'd never heard anything like it. It's like, no, it's the guys I played against plus Jordan.
Nick's Giannis spinning this forward. What'd you make of what he had to say?
Well, listen, I've said for the last couple of years, Giannis is the best player in the world. But far be it for me to disagree with Giannis. You know what? He's right. The only thing Giannis got wrong is he said LeBron's been doing it for 18 years. That's incorrect. This was year 19 for LeBron. So he shortchanged LeBron a year. But everything else, I think he's right. Wildes, if even Nick Wright is underrating LeBron James, then yeah, maybe we do need to give him more credit. It's been a long time since I said LeBron was the best player in the world.
How?
I said it was Giannis. What do you mean? What do you mean, how?
How do we need to give LeBron more credit? We talk about him every other day. You list him as the best player of all time. He makes a team that didn't make the play-in relevant in the national media.
Hold on.
What do we need to do to give LeBron more credit? What can I do personally to give him more credit?
You're misconstruing amount of discussion with credit. CNN talks about Donald Trump a lot. I don't think they're giving him a ton of credit. I just think he's a topic. We talk about LeBron James a lot. Things we have talked about are, is LeBron James scoring 30 points a game actually bad for the Lakers? Should LeBron James be fired as Lakers general manager for walking into Rob Pelinka's office with a gun and a mask and making him sign Russell Westbrook? Should the Lakers turn the page from LeBron James and trade him somewhere else, a la Bill Plaschke's column that we discussed? So you're right, we do talk about him a lot. Do we talk about him in the right way? Again, this is not Nick Wright's opinion. Giannis Antetokounmpo, who I would think knows a little bit about what it takes to be the best player in basketball, he says LeBron's the best player in basketball. Take it up with Giannis.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from First Things First, or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.